Hi, this is Krusty Bob. It's been a long time since I've checked in regarding the Wolverine film transfer device. I haven't used mine in a long time. About the time I was doing a lot of videos on it, I was also working on a very big project. So I transferred a lot of film through this machine using, as you may have seen in other videos, my adapter to use big reels. But I haven't done anything in a long time. It's been sitting on the shelf. I recently hauled it out in order to digitize some more film, and I realized I was having some problems with the picture sort of skipping, and then I let it sit for a couple days. I came back today to use it and found out that this take-up spool really was not responding, not turning. And if you recall any of my videos from long ago, a problem I found was that it was extremely hot down in this area. This transformer, I think it was melting the rubber, or the rubber coating. It's sticky, and you see it makes a black mark on my finger. That stuff comes off. Now you try to turn this thing right here. Let's turn the shaft, and it should turn that. And see what happens? The belt is stuck. Look at that. It's that goop on there. And people kept insisting that, that's not a flaw, it's just a coating they put on there. But the Wolverine people ended up replacing this whole belt system. I've never actually seen one except in a small photo. This is the Achilles heel of it. So if you have a Wolverine and it started acting funny, and it's one of the original versions, first thing you're going to look at is this belt. And I'm going to try to clean off this wheel a bit. The problem is this stuff is so sticky that it's going to get right back on there. It'd be nice to find a belt that wouldn't melt like this, but again, I don't really have the numbers in me. The temperatures were well over 100 degrees, I believe, in this area right here. That's the distance between the transformer and the belt is about the width of this paintbrush right here. And look at all that stuff that's coming up on it. So what I've got to do is clean this thing up and see if it'll work again and for how long. Now again, other than that, I love this machine. I transferred dozens and dozens and dozens of hours of film to video using this, and most of the time it worked very well. But this is no fun at all. So well, look at all that mess. Jeez. I think I should wear gloves. This is just after handling it a little bit. I've been wondering if this black goop on here could actually be rubbed off. Interesting. It comes off better on my dry fingers than it does on this little moistened towelette thing. It smells like alcohol. It's actually a lens cloth. Again, the goop. I'm not sure there's an easy way to get that out. It looks like there's a little cover here. Two small screws, not enough room for a screwdriver to get in there. So what did I say? People tried to say this was belt dressing. Belt dressing does not glue your belt to the pulley. I don't know if that's doing any good at all. We've got the gears down in here. See how much goop is on them. Well, that's not too bad, actually. Good. There's an upper gear. One here and one here. That's what I believe drives this shaft. Alcohol works pretty good getting this off of metal. I'm going to try cleaning the belt some more. I'm going to put a little alcohol in that. This seems to be a good place to, good way to hold this as I feed it through. I try to go in the other direction. It doesn't feed it smoothly. Well, I got goop all over the front of the Wolverine. But honestly, if the inside doesn't work, it doesn't matter what's out here. It's junk if I can't get the inside working. Okay, what I want to do at this point is load up some film and see what happens. I've got a film threaded up on this and a card. You know, of course, these will not operate without a card in there. So let's turn her on and see what happens. Well, it's working. I don't know how smoothly. This thing usually, the Wolverine usually makes very, very steady video recordings of the movies. So if it's not, this is probably the problem. As I said, Wolverine, to their credit, has changed this belt system to some other drive system, and I think they also took some other steps to reduce the heat, putting some holes drilled into it. I drilled holes into the case for this, and even installed a little 6-volt fan. So after this little bit of cleaning, it seems to be running. What I really have to do is just start with a fresh reel and let that run all the way through and just load it up to my computer and say, okay, does this look okay? I've slipped the case back onto my Wolverine and loaded up some more film, and I'm going to run a test to see if it's going to work. Well, there was the sound. It binds, and then it does all that clicking as it slips finally. Okay, we can stop here. It broke. Not once, but twice. What you just saw with the sound of the gears grinding was the second time. And in that case, the gears ground. The frames, no doubt, skip the beat as they go through the mechanism. And you get a glitch on your final recorded product. But in this case, the film at least keeps going and goes through the whole system. The first time it stopped, it just stopped. You could hear the gears clicking, but the film wasn't moving at all. So everything was just seized up entirely. And what worries me about that is, you know, something overheating from being frozen up like that, like a motor inside. I don't know how big a risk that is, but, you know, this thing gets 130 degrees inside already. So if something is seized up, you know, and could potentially overheat, that concerns me. What really concerns me, though, is that this can be a darn good way to convert 8mm film to video. Probably there's nothing ever been out there for under $2,000 new that could do anything close to this. So it kind of breaks my heart that I just can't use this thing without having to tear it apart and get goop all over me and everything, trying to clean it up. During those many, many hours when it takes for one of these to digitize and you're out of the room, it could go click, 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 and do that funny little skipping the beat stuff for quite a long time, and you won't know it until you spend all these hours digitizing the film, and then you go look at it and go, oh, wait a minute, I got to do it all over again. That's no fun. We shouldn't have to do that. So I'm going to be emphatic here. Do not buy the first model of the Wolverine film to video transfer kits. And I don't know right now how you distinguish the models without opening up the box or looking in the back of it to see what's going on. If I can find that, I'll post it in the comments section below. But in the meantime, anybody want to buy my number one unit? It's been freshly cleaned of goop. Should be good to go for a couple of days. Krusty Bob, over and out.